When we first got married, we came up to BYU, and I had been teaching personal improvement classes to different people, and I taught to all the home dorm mothers. And I got to know the director of that program. And so when John and I decided to be dorm parents, apply for dorm parents, she already knew me. And so for many, many applicants, we got the job because she knew me, and I was return missionary, and she liked me. And, so we went to dorm parents, which was really quite a coup, because you get to live in this little apartment, and you get paid so much a month, and John could go to school, and Stephanie could stay at home. I had her just before we became dorm parents in the big dorm. And we were in a little dorm, two-story home. Anyway, yeah. And so she was so spoiled. She had 72 sisters who would come and borrow her and take her out to play and help her learn to walk up and down the stairs. And so we had a lot of fun as dorm parents. We really, really liked that. But they were making, but you can make more money as an apartment manager. And so after a year and a half of dorm parents, we decided to apply for apartment managers at King Henry Apartments. And we got it. But it wasn't a lark. It was really, really hard. 2.5 acres of lawn, 200 and something kids, all these apartments. And the owner would come up around every day and say, I think you should do this. But then he wouldn't ever hire anybody that could do it. So the kids would come up with valid reasons to come and complain because their apartments were falling apart. But he wouldn't let me hire people that could do the work. And so it got to be that when I'd hear footsteps on the metal stairs that went outside of our apartment, I had an office off the apartment, my stomach would go into knots because I knew they were going to complain and there was nothing I could do. And it got so that my stomach were going in knots all the time. And then it got so that I was crying every time I heard somebody coming up the stairs. Wow. And then it got so I was crying all the time. So we had to move. And this dear lady, and that friend of ours, an old lady, she found this old pioneer home on Old Willow Lane, which was a dirt road, but we could rent it for $50 a month, and I was free away from that building, and that was not fun to have a nervous breakdown, but such is life, So I did, but I recovered. I stayed home with Stephanie. And we just stayed in our little old house, and hibernated for 2 or 3 months.
Well, you were getting better from your breakdown, you're saying.
Yeah. And she was just delightful, little girl. She was so cute.